is going on, guys? So today we're going to be talking about how I am fixing the manual swap error code. Now when you guys first finish your manual swaps, on the first start you're not going to have a check engine light, but on the second start you will, and that check engine light is going to be a hard code. It's going to stay there basically until you get it fixed. Now here in California we do have fairly strict smog stuff, and in order to pass smog you have to have that check engine light off, so I do need to get that addressed. In addition to that, if you're not in an emissions test state where they don't like inspect your cars, it's still bad form to have the check engine light on throwing that code, because if your car does throw a real check engine light for like an O2 sensor or an ignition coil or a misfire or something like that, you won't even know because the check engine light is already on due to the error code that was thrown for the manual swap. So you do want to get that fixed regardless of what state you're in. Having a functional check engine light is a good thing to have. A lot of people don't like idiot lights. I'm not a big fan of it, and honestly for the first couple weeks when I did the manual swap it does annoy me, but now I've chosen, I kind of ignore it when I'm driving because it's like permanently on, but even then that's still bad form because I don't know if something's wrong in the engine because the check engine light is already on. So we do need to get that fixed. Now there are a couple ways to go about it, and I've been kind of taking a little while to make this video simply because I had to find a good way that benefited everyone, you guys included, on getting rid of that check engine light. Now there are a couple ways to get the check engine light fixed. One of them is to buy a manual DME, basically a new ECU that is already a manual. Take it down to a BMW dealership and get the EWS aligned and you'll be good to go. Another one is to get someone who does flashing and recoding the ECU and have them reprogram it. Now me, working as an automotive technician in the field, I have a couple people that I know that can reprogram the card. I could have gone to them, paid them the money to have them reflash it to a manual tune. That's good, but that kind of goes past the whole point of the manual swap DIY series, which is me showing you guys how to get it done. And if I were to tell you, buy an ECU and go to BMW, get it synced, or go find someone in your area to resync it, you know, that's kind of like brushing off the issue and not really like addressing it head on. And I think, you know, that could be useful for you if you're in Southern California, but if you're not in Southern California and I say, hey, go to this guy, Mike or John or whatever, and he'll reflash it. If you're not in Southern California, you don't know that guy, it's really no help to you, you know what I mean? Along with that, I was looking into reprogramming it myself using my own computer, but that's like a whole nother thing that I don't even want to get into. It's just a big mess, and I haven't really done any coding with these cars before, so I tend to do the DIY series on DIYs that I'm really familiar with and good with. That's why I haven't done any bottom end building DIYs for these motors, because I'm not super familiar and super good at assembling bottom ends and all that stuff. I'm still getting better at it. But things like belts, manual swaps, cylinder head rebuilds, I've done those plenty of times, so I'm more than familiar with like just about every aspect of it. So if I did it through the coding and one of you guys asked a question, there's a good chance I would have no knowledge on it because I would just have figured out what I needed to know, not the whole scope of it. So I really didn't want to do it that way, and so that's why it's kind of been taking me a while, because there's a lot of ways you can go about it. This isn't very a straightforward thing to get done. Unlike the manual swap itself, like removing a drive shaft, there's like 4 bolts here, 3 bolts here, 2 bolts here, it comes out. It's that simple, right? Same thing when it goes back in. With ECU swapping, there's like a whole spectrum of ways you could go about it. And I wanted to find a way that I could recommend to you guys that's like a surefire, hard, good way to get it done, not just here's what you need to do, go figure it out. My good friend Marcus, and a longtime subscriber, put me on Castle Performance, is what we're going to be talking about today. Their products, because he had a good experience with them and he recommended them to me, and I've been talking with them and trying to figure it all out, and they've done a very good job. It was very simple, very straightforward, and they do DME tuning and reflashing in a way that I have not seen done before. First of all, their packaging is super sick. We're going to get back into that later, but I want to tell you guys about their Dme Swap Program. And now this is going to be like critical for you guys who are doing the manual swap on your daily driver, or even like a track car that you don't want to be down. Now if you get a new ECU and get the EWS synced or get it recoded, you have to go find someone or go somewhere to get the coding done. With Castle Performance, they offer a Dme Swap Program, which basically means you go onto their website, you pick out what you want, your EWS delete, your manual tune, you can get a performance tune if you want to, and they will send you a new ECU with it on here. And all you do once you get the ECU is pull your ECU out of the car and put this one in. That's it. So the whole check engine light thing is done as quickly and as simply as replacing the DME. You don't have to go to anyone to get it reflashed. So if you guys are manual swapping your daily driver and you don't have time to send the ECU out to pull it out of the car, send it off, wait like a week for it to get flashed and come back, the DME swap option is an excellent option for you guys. I'm going to tell you right now, get the EWS deleted, otherwise you still will have to realign the EWS with the new ECU. So that's their DME swap program. Definitely check that out if you guys are going to be manual swapping your daily drivers. On top of that, you can just send in your straight ECU, so if it's like a weekend car or track car, not your daily driver, something you don't mind being down for a week, you can send your ECU out, they will flash it and send it back. But if you are a daily driver and you need the car to be running all the time, the DME swap option is like the best freaking option. So in addition to the manual tune and the EWS delete, they offer performance tunes, and they do it unbelievably better than the rest of the people I've seen. I've not driven this car with the tune yet. There will be a tune review coming. That being said though, their whole tune is like $155, which is a lot better. So like the whole manual conversion, EWS delete, and the tune is about as cheap as just like your basic shark injector. So I'm sure you guys have looked into NA tunes. Shark injector is like kind of the main one to go to. The Castle Performance is the same price, and you don't have to do that bullshit shark injector sync. Now, I have not installed the shark injector or used the shark tune before, but from the installation instructions, you gotta have like a battery charger on it because it runs for like 20 minutes. You gotta have like all the windows up. You gotta have like the automatic transmission thing unplugged if it's still automatic. Like, there's all these loops you gotta jump through to make it work properly. And with the Castle Performance, it's already on there. All you do is unplug the battery, pull the ECU out, pop the new one in, fire it up, you're good to go. So there's like no BS installation instructions for this. There's no loops you have to jump through to get it to work. It's basically just a DME swap, which is super freaking nice. So I did get the performance tune with it on top of the EWS delete, and their packaging is very nice. In addition to that, they send a bunch of stickers. These are going to be all over my toolbox. And they put the ECU in an electrostatic bag, which is pretty freaking sick. You'll see these like in electronic stuff when you buy like circuit boards and building computers. You see a lot of this packaging. The fact that they use that on these is really cool. I did not send mine out this way. I sent mine in like a box like 4 times bigger than it with a lot of bubble wrap. So very professional, very well done. I'm impressed with how they did it. So I did not go through the DME exchange program. I sent the DME, this is the DME from this car out to get it redone. And then I'm gonna put this one in the sedan, get the sedan one sent out because I need both of them to be reflashed anyway. So because this car's already done, I didn't mind waiting for it. So this is the actual ECU that I pulled out of the drop top to get sent in. An MS 41.1 basically, and they got the Castle sticker on it with all of the fun bits that I had done to this. So I am super excited to share this with you guys. The link to them is in the description. Be sure to check them out. If you are wondering how I'm going to be doing the ECU retuning on my car for the manual swap, it is going to be through Castle Performance. This is it right here. There will be an install DIY for the DME soon, and then that'll be it. The whole manual swap DIY series will be finished from start to finish. So I'm super excited. They were super cool, super easy to talk to, and they were very responsive. I think the whole thing, sending this out, getting it fixed, and sending it back was like less than a week, which was pretty impressive. So I'm excited to see how the tune actually differs, because this is going to be the first performance tune I've run on any of my NA cars, which will be interesting because, you know, I've never had a performance tune, so I'm pretty excited to see how it is. And this is the reason I went to Race Legal the other day, if you guys have been following up with the videos, because it was running the factory tune, not because it's got a performance tune. So I wanted to do the drag race, automatic versus manual, you know, basically as many neutral factors as I can. Now having a tune on the manual and not having a tune on the automatic would give it bias towards the manual. So, and I'm excited to put this in. So if you guys need to get your check engine light addressed for your manual swap, be sure to check out Castle Performance. Link is down in the description. On top of that, read a bunch of other threads, buy a manual DME, get it EWS resynced, or any of the other ways to do it. Just know this is the way I'm recommending to you guys, because it is quick, because it is easy, because you don't have to go anywhere and get it reflashed. I figured this was the best way to let all of you guys know how to get this retuned. This is the way I'm recommending. Alright, I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep it fresh, and I will see you guys later.